belong. It's called you lose your sanity and the remote control. Shoot. So I'm sort of in a place where my mind is super fresh about what it's like to maybe have a child with a disability, but not even have a child, but really what it's like to belong to someone with special needs. Now, I don't know about like physical ability, but just a developmental difference. It's really a different life. And I read this interesting article yesterday, and the woman had said she stopped saying like, it's hard, but it's wonderful. It's this, but it's this. She said she started saying, it's hard and it's this. It's hard and it's that. And I like that because I think you can recognize the weight of something, and you can also recognize that hard things are good things, right? Oh, welcome, Susie. And I'm going to do a subscriber video right after this. We're going to have a little Q&A session. But we went skiing last week, and we left our special person at home. I have a husband and three teenagers, 17, 15, 13, and then a 9-year-old with autism and a genetic disorder who's in between a traditional second grade classroom and a special ed class. No, honey, he's not. We also have neighbors that like to come visit us. They like to come visit my husband. Small children like my husband. So we went on a ski trip last week, and we left Amos at home with our caregiver, who is awesome. And for anybody that's going to start saying like, it's amazing you can afford a caretaker, I'm just going to tell you that every family that has a child with a disability is eligible for the waiver for unmet needs. It's in every state. And that waiver helps pay for our care provider. And one thing that was very exciting today, I hadn't written about yet, is that Amos got himself dressed and got his own shoes on, which is what he learned through his developmental therapy hours. So it might seem like, oh, great, you get a babysitter. But Mary really works with Amos on independent living skills. And it's great because he learns way more from her than me. Maybe because she's tougher than I am. But anyway, so this morning he got dressed, got on his own shoes, got his backpack on, and headed out. So that's just an aside. So we had last week where we had kind of this break of time. And we went out to meals, and we didn't have to plan. So when we go out to meals, we have to plan books, which means you might have to order new books. And at this point, we're out of Lego books. You have to, maybe for your family, you have an iPad. We got rid of our iPad because it was such a problem, and now he doesn't like it, which is his own problem. But tonight, so we had all this freedom. We went skiing. We didn't have to do social stories or practice helping people understand what ski boots feel like, or gloves, or goggles, or a helmet. Like, these are all really big things that I would argue that most of you, and I'm including myself, never even thought about the fact that those are deal breakers for families. And the reason I talk about it is not to like whiny and get attention, but is because I wish I had known. And I either wasn't listening or people weren't talking. And there was probably a little bit of both, you know. I grew up at private school. I never went to public school. I didn't have access to children with disabilities. I didn't have any friends who had siblings with disabilities. I mean, I had nothing, you know, nothing. I just didn't know. Now look how quietly you're reading that book. Are you reading quietly?
Yes.
Were you reading quietly at church tonight?
Yes. Hippopotamus.
That's more what he was doing. My son is a special person. 30 years now. Oh, he's in prison. Well, I hate to hear that. Gracious. But it is a hard, I do waiver case management. There's such a wait list. Yes, there is, Angel, and we are on the wait list. One thing about where we live in this part of North Carolina is that we get services while we're on the wait list. So we'll get more services after the wait list. We're going to do a waiver live video later this week. I believe I've got it scheduled for Tuesday night. So anyway, and then after that, I will do a subscriber video where people can ask very specific questions. So in these kind of videos, it's me talking, not conversational stuff. So subscriber video right after this for that. Where are all Amos's Legos? All over the house. So anyway, we had this week we went skiing and we went out to dinner and we went to a store and we stayed in there as long as we wanted and we didn't have to get back in time. And some of that is having little children. Like I had 3 little children together and then I had Amos. So some of that is just when you have teenagers, suddenly you have this freedom, right? So I've been a mom for 17 years and that's a long time, but I still don't have the freedom to just walk out of this house and go somewhere. So for that week, I did have that freedom. I could tell people, but nobody was counting on me. You know, I couldn't, just like moms of small children, they have to look after them all the time. And when you've been doing it for 17 years, that's a long time to be a mommy to seemingly a toddler, you know? I was so tired from the time change. I slept for 3 hours today. Well, Sally preached to the choir on this one because I took Amos to school this morning and got home and thought to myself, it is 5 o'clock in the morning in Park City, Utah. And my fanny went right back to bed. Yes, it did. Amos needs a break too, along with his family. Well, he probably does need a break from me. I need a break from myself. Oh, thank you, Tanya. So anyway, so we had this week of everything was easy. And like even the concept of adaptive skiing is awesome. But the idea of going to do adaptive skiing, like in the snow when you don't like cold, is super hard, you know, super hard. So we got home Friday night, been home all weekend. Today we had church. Yesterday we had Sunday school and breakfast, which is fine. And Amos kind of runs around during Sunday school. And tonight at church, we started upstairs. He did not want me to sit by him, so I should have known that. But he went and sat.
4 starfish pictures. Just say it quietly.
Say what?
Just say it quietly. Crowd of 4 starfish pictures.
Crowd of 4 starfish pictures.
Good night, Mommy.
Good night. So he went and sat downstairs. Well, I have been really working on not getting overwhelmed with Amos in public. Like, that's what I took on for Lent. So other people for Lent give up things. I took that on. And I've been doing pretty well with it. But I didn't anticipate. I have a family. So I have 2 teenage sons, teenage daughter, and a husband. And the teenage daughter is on a school field trip. Teenage son, number 2, was playing tennis with friends, so he missed church, which is another story. Another story. And so we had the oldest teenager and my husband and I and Amos at church. Well, Amos immediately runs downstairs at church. And the 2 of them, my husband and teenager, start looking at me like this. And it like broke me. And I was annoyed at myself. I was annoyed that I let the two of them, and I'm not like blaming them at all, but I let them make me feel a certain way where I've really been working on it, you know?
That's a hair costume.
That's called a wig.
You want to wear a wig?
Okay. Look, it's Paul Hicks. You look good.
You want to wig Honor?
You gonna get your service dog to wear a wig? Okay, Honor, sit. Good girl. Look at her. She likes the wig. Good girl. And
You want to wear it, Mommy?
okay, I'll wear it.
Wow, cool wig.
Do you like it?
That's a scary wig.
A scary wig?
Yes? You like a scary wig.
I do like it. Do you like it?
You scare Amos.
You want me to scare you?
You want to keep it on?
Okay, well, here. You know what you're getting ready to do? You're getting ready to go have your shower. So what?
No.
Yes. Here. Okay, I'm keeping it
You
on.
want to scare Amos?
No, they can get up and run. You're not getting on this couch. Now she's telling me I'm anxious. So this is not like a thing against them. This is just me being brutally honest about what it feels like. So I go downstairs and he moves to sit in the front row and he talks throughout the whole service, which I didn't really mind the talking. Because I just thought to myself, well, if everybody just really focuses in on the preacher, they'll hear what he's saying, right? And then we leave and we're going to dinner at the main church. And my oldest son is like, I'm not going. I'm done. I'm not doing this. This is embarrassing, you know, and it hurt my heart. I thought you said he was better, you know, all these things. Well, one, he's off at boarding school, so he's away. He's not with Amos all the time, so he kind of forgets, you know. And I think the other thing is he's had this long break of freedom like I had last week. And when you have a long break of freedom, you kind of forget what life with Amos can be like. And it can be hard and tough. So I was sort of teary. I don't even know why, just because I was. And my husband came in and we were talking about it. And I said, you know, it was upsetting to the one teenager. And what'd you think? And he was like, well, I really didn't think it was that bad. You know, I thought he did okay. And I was like, well, I just don't know what else to do because either I don't go, you don't go, we switch churches. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else we can do. Like, I think God wants him at church. And he was like, yeah, I do too. I do too. But, you know, telling a teenager that, it's really hard, right? Because you're 15, 16, 13, 17, and you belong to the person who's talking about owls and doing all sorts of stuff during church. I could see that it's embarrassing, you know? I can see that it is. Can Amos be taught and to learn what's appropriate? You know, I think so. And I think he is. I mean, he sat, he just talked too loud. So I think as he gets older, yes, I think he can definitely do those things. And at school, he does those things. But we also have to acknowledge that he goes to school all day. He's in math and reading with traditional second graders. He is expected to really step it up at school, you know? And it was raining today. He got home. It was raining. So we didn't get outside. We didn't get to go to the playground and get energy out. And he had a lot of energy. So my husband was running around with him after church and said, boy, he's got a lot of energy. I bet that was the problem. So yes, but it's not, I would argue that Amos is still a long ways away of being reliably well-behaved. Let's be honest, so are my 13-year-olds. Are the church patrons understanding? Yeah, I think they are. Or they're scared of me. No, I think they are understanding. I think people are understanding. I mean, I'm sure it's annoying, but I think they're understanding. Do you want a true opinion or just vent? Oh, I'm not seeking an opinion. I'm talking. No opinions needed. I'm just explaining how it feels. And my good friend went up to sit beside Amos, and she was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you made me do that. Because then she went to sit beside him, and he climbed over to sit in another pew. The worst things than being embarrassed by your brother. I'm sure he didn't mean to upset anyone. Of course not. No, of course not. But it's, and I get it. Like, my friend Carrie Cariello, she said, you know, when they took their son Jack to see, what'd they go see? Hamilton. She was like, you know, we really wanted to make sure that he wasn't disruptive, because if Amos did like what he did at church tonight at Hamilton and people had paid $500 a ticket, I would be pissed if I were the other patrons too. You know, so there's this line of what's acceptable and what we can learn from, and then a line of where,
No, vegetables.
Vegetables? Do you like vegetables?
No.
Yes, you do. You like carrots?
Yes.
Yes.
Turnip.
You like what?
Turnip.
Tulip?
Rana and Ina.
Rana and Ina.
Turnip, Rana, and Ina.
What show are you watching? Octonauts.
Turnip, Rana, and Ina.
Tuna, Rada, and Ina.
Octopus.
Octomauts.
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
The octopus walking tricky luckies.
Octobot walking tricky luckies. Stop being hard on yourself. No, I'm not being hard on myself. I'm really not. This is the reason I want to have these conversations, is because they are so uncomfortable to have. And I'm pushing myself through to have them so that they don't own me.
You want to
You
wear
know?
it?
No, I don't want to. Thank you, though.
I want.
Go take it downstairs to your brother's. So it's not any like, it's just talking and being honest about it and trying to explain it, you know? It is really hard for me to do that. And I'm pretty open. Like, this is why I can tell you, oh, I weigh 161 pounds. Like, that is so much easier for me. Or somebody will say, oh my gosh, the debutante was in her underpants in a post. I'm like, sure I was. Underpants, nothing.
You want to scare mommy?
Okay, scare me.
Whoa!
You scare me. Okay, go scare your brothers. Go scare them. They're downstairs. Anyway, the lack of impulse control. Yes. But anyway, it's tough. It is tough. So when you see me there, or you don't have to even say anything. Just give Amos a high five. Just smile, like whether we're at the grocery store or church or whatever. Just know that with your own anxiety. Yeah, it does. I mean, did you see the dog was trying to sit on my lap because she knew I was getting anxious talking about it, you know? You're wasting your breath. They may or may not do it for the next thing they say, but we'll go right back to normal and being louder. They don't remember it, and you can't control them like that. Well, I will say Amos is our caregiver and his teachers. Like, I've seen him sit at school quietly in a play for 30 minutes. So I know he can do it. But I think one of the trickiest parts with us is trying to figure out, is it medicine? Is it more of this medicine? Is it less of this medicine? Is it the exercise? Is it the no rain? Is it a Monday? Is it I was gone this week? Is it the pants have a tag in them? There's so many outliers that it's hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out what the real issue is, you know? Could we take the dog to church? Sure, we could. Anyway, it's just, we're just figuring it out. We got a 9-year-old and we are figuring it out. No different than somebody with like a newborn baby. Honestly, that's what we're doing. This is why I feel old. And now he's down there playing with the big boys. And that's good. And, you know, I hadn't talked to my teenager about the night yet. I just wanted to give him a little space and time away from it. I've just been sitting here an hour, drinking my water, doing a little work, thinking. So this is kind of my talk down period. And so it's, what?
I'm going to the shower.
Okay. Are you going to eat pizza for dinner?
No, I'll eat something.
Do you want me to cook something?
What?
Do you want me to cook something? Oh, he does like to go to church. He really does. I've always been told I'm an overshare. I've realized I'm not better than anyone else. And I think it's important to share your story. Yeah, I think so too, Jennifer. Yeah, it's not like I think my story is amazing or wonderful or that people can learn from it. I just think it's a story that most of us are pretty prideful, and it's hard to tell those stories. And even harder, it's really hard to disclose your heart, you know? It's hard. It's really hard. You know, it's funny. My daughter is on a trip in Greensboro this week with the school thing, which is really exciting. And I don't have much like nervousness. Like, she wanted to go. I was like, fine. Well, the other parents are like, well, I don't know. Should we let them go? It's like, of course we should let them go. It's, yes, let them go. It's great. And this other friend of mine was asking a friend like about why are you feeling anxious about the trip? And they were talking about it. And I said, well, why are you not asking me if I feel anxious? She said, well, I know you're not anxious about the trip. I was like, well, this is true. I'm not. But what she didn't know when I was thinking today is whenever I send my children off somewhere or when I go off somewhere, my mind goes to, what if something happens to them? Or what if something happens to me? What will I be like if I get that news? So there's this different type of reality for me. I'm not worried about the day-to-day stuff, but I lost my only brother to cancer. And then 3 years later, I lost my best friend in the world to cancer. So I learned early on what this loss was like and what it felt like. And it's always haunted me, I guess, in a way. And so I do things, but it, you know, that's some of my real, you know? And if we don't own it and talk about it, then it's going to own us. And then we're going to be miserable. You're going to just live anxious and fearful and unhappy. And I don't want to be like that. I want to.
It's a scary nightmare. Just saying scary.
You look like a scaredy Pippi Longstocking.
Just saying, mommy.
It's a scaredy nightmare.
You better scare mommy.
No, I'm not scaring you. Let Honor wear it.
You better wear it. Looking good. Looking good.
Looking good?
Ah!
Okay.
You both scare Amos.
No, I'm not yelling. I don't want to be yelled at.
You both scare Amos.
Okay.
Ah! You both scare loudly Amos.
I don't like to scare loudly.
Ah!
Are you ready to go take your shower?
Are you ready to scare Amos?
No, in 5 minutes.
Ah!
Someone has been reading Harry Potter, which might be a mistake. Look at my doggy. Look at the doggy worried about her mommy being anxious. Yes, she is. She wants to sit on her mommy's lap. Yes, she is.
Wear this brown.
All right.
And you might wear this creepy thing.
Okay, subscribers, I'm going to see you in a minute. If y'all need a safe place to go,
Looking
you
scary.
need a place where you feel like people
Yeah.
don't judge you.
Looking scary.
For $5 a month,
I'm a scary
you
tree.
can, you too can feel
Looking scary.
safe and loved. Oh, golly. Carry on, people. Say bye. Are you saying bye?
Looking scary clown.
Amos.
Hey, what are you? I'm a scary queen.
You know what I am?
Hi.
You know what I am?
I'm a queen of the dead.
Queen of the dead? What country am I queen of?
The Tanzania.
No, what's your favorite country?
That's Burundi.
Burundi. I'm the queen of Burundi.
That queen of dead.
No, queen of Burundi.
Not the Burundi, just the dead.
Why do I have to be the queen of dead?
At Deadovania.
Deadylvania? Is that something on Octonauts?
That's a scary flag.
A scary place?
A scary flag. The Deadovania.
Deadylvania.
I'm a scary queen.
I'm a scary queen.
Ah! You both scare Amos. You both scare Amos.
Okay, get ready.
Ah!
I'm going to hide. Carry on, friends. Come on over, subscribers. Q&A next.